Following on from episode 3, we start to notice some concerning warning signs coming from the Pajero. This one's going to require some investigation. Hopefully nothing too serious, because we are, of course, 2,000 miles from home.
After we had our lovely morning coffee and checked out from wonderful campsite, very friendly service. Actually, they brought us breakfast, which were pancakes with honey and some hazelnut spread, which were absolutely delicious.
Homemade.
We are now back on the road, and today actually looks exceptionally sandstormy. I wouldn't say very strong, but the scenery is very different. You actually can see sand like swirling over the tarmac, and the sky is looking kind of grey blue.
Yeah,
You can't really see
very
in
much
distance.
visibility today. And then we've got the third part of our desert crossing to complete today. It's about 150 kilometres odd.
Yes.
And that will be us, all the way across the southern desert, so that's exciting.
Getting into the desert. So, yesterday I noticed that there was a bonnet out for Pajero.
Yeah,
So
there's a few nerves going around about the Pajero. Has sprung a bit of an oil leak. It lost about a litre yesterday, so that's a little bit worrying. So we need to be checking that really regularly, make sure it's not getting worse. We think we've identified it as coming from the oil cooler sort of plate where there's like a gasket. We think it's there, but not certain. So you need to be vigilant on that one.
So Joe sprayed loads of what was it called? The brake fluid.
Brake cleaner.
Brake cleaner, yeah.
So we can see.
But still
where the
couldn't
leak comes
identify
from.
and
I think it's only pushing it out under load. Now it's leaving we noticed yesterday it's leaving a little puddle, so yeah, not the best, but monitor it.
yeah. Slowly it turns very different. Corrugations start, and this device, which is the camera for the front and back, started to beep, thinking we crashed. Pop, 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 pop. Straight in it. Camel friends down.
We needed to complete the trail that we've been travelling for the previous 2 days. This was day 3, the final day, that would take us to a campsite on the edge before returning to the road in order to head north again. One track seemed to meander their way through the desert forever. What with the wind rising and the sand swirling, it made for quite the atmosphere. Needing to look after the Pajero, we opted for regular checks to make sure everything was as it should be or as best as it could be. Looking at the maps at this point, there really wouldn't have been an easier way to get out to civilization sooner. So onwards and upwards.
So, oil check. Wind check as well. Jack just went on a weather
I was going to
forecast.
stay like this for quite a few hours, but hopefully no worse by the looks of it.
According to windy TVs, there's no worse, but it's always good to double check, because currently, I don't know if you can see it's helpful if around.
It doesn't look so much on the camera, but
No, but you got constant sort of howling wind and sand and dust. So I almost can't see anything ahead.
Never experienced anything like it.
Definitely. It's very surreal. I've created myself something when I go out and plan to film today. It will be this sort of system today. Whee!
There is something quite special about driving through the desert. This being a first for us all, it was really quite the experience, and one we will never forget.
Whee! Oh. It's fun.
Being so far out from civilization also added an extra element of, well, stress, yeah, but also excitement. Something you don't get to do very often. The remoteness was also something quite new for all of us, and I think you can say it's something we'll be doing again. Whoop-de-whoop.
Whoop-de-whoop. Whoa! Blimey. Following a wiki trail. Also, this is also a Google road or route.
Yeah, incredible.
It's the view from the mirror. It's literally milky. Can't see anything. All you can do is follow the sat nav. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep following the GPS.
Yeah.
GPS is critical out here.
Yeah.
Downloaded all the maps as well, both on
Offline.
maps for Google and for Wikilog. So we can always sort of see where we are on more than one device.
Very important when in desert. Desert racing has resumed. We are on it. We got tunes.
Gliding over the top of the congregations as the clouds.
That's how much dust. And suddenly there are signs of all sorts. Camping, cafes, some restaurants. And there it is. The famous Land Rover.
Came in and you're looking like a sign of grace. I know, but I can never match your name or face. My fault, I didn't notice it was out of place. You painting fairy tales on the wall, calling to the better of the halves of me. Please show me just a little bit of honesty. I hope I got a heart that I can salvage, but it's getting harder now to recall. I know well what let out both try. You could have anything you wanted it all for your fool's gold. And I know well why death and half blind. You could get anything you wanted, yeah, I would have handed it all over falling for you.
Stopped in a very, very dry riverbed. I feel like I have so much sand in the back of my throat. It's unavoidable. So we quickly made a shelter with the cars, had lunch. Now boys are checking oil levels, bonnets up, and I believe so we've definitely done about a third of the trail, so 2 more thirds left. Should be good. The wind seems to be dying down a little bit, which is good because it's quite hard out there. Earlier I went and filmed a couple bits and bobs from the outside of the track. I didn't feel it at the time, but as soon as I got back in I felt like, oh yeah, I feel like literally all my nostrils, all my airways are literally, I just breathed in some pepper spray, so tough stuff.
Like that, and I've been like driving because
Yeah.
Cut everything out of my face.
Baja racer, Christina Kalmakova.
Oh, this is fun.
Having fun?
Oh yeah, good time.
See Joe
It's
in the
like
distance.
it's the biggest sandbox.
What are we going to do? Stop for a desert tea then?
I think desert tea has to be, honestly.
Desert mint
How many
tea.
times you get to stop in a cafe in the middle of the desert to have a
Well done.
That was fun. How's the view?
We're on Lake Ariki.
Where's the
used to be.
Used to be once upon a time.
See, the shape is supposed to be like a boat.
Ah, very clever. Look at that. You can see a car arriving.
What is that? Is that patrol?
There. Ooh. Fucking hell, this is amazing. This is absolutely, I can tell, dry, crusty. Well, we might have a problem. Oh, hold on a second. Jack's trying to brake hard because it's getting a bit lumpy. Pajero is smoking.
It's got a lot of blue smoke coming out of it, so obviously it means it's burning oil. It's not great.
No.
It stinks.
And currently we are in the most furthest possible point
South as we're going to go.
in the middle of the desert, so
I just like try and limp it. Well, hopefully it will just keep going, but we're just
Yeah.
gonna try and get back to the main road. Now we're pretty much aiming towards the end of the trail anyway. I mean, we've still got a fair bit to go, to be fair. But
Yeah.
hopefully it'll only be another hour or two maximum.
but we also are on the main trail through
It's
the
a bit
desert,
faster,
so it's
just
not like we're
flat,
completely
like
away from civilization. There are other cars, tracks, and occasionally you have restaurants and places to, yeah. But we'll see. We're currently keeping fingers crossed.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course it is.
Pray for us.
Yeah. Pajero is having less smoke, as we noticed, so
Seems to be once it's fully up to temperature, it's a bit less.
yeah.
So I'll have more investigations later at camp.
Yes, and I'm definitely, everyone's keeping fingers and toes crossed to get to the camp.
I've only got 2,200 miles or something home.
Okay.
You're looking like a sign of grace, I know, but I can never match your name to face my fault. But when I noticed it was far too late, you left a fingerprint on my soul.
Views can beat that. that, to be honest. So
absolutely knackered, but it's been well worth it.
it's been a long day.
We'll get up in the morning and figure out what's going on with the Pajero.
And the engine cool down.
Today is just about, well, this evening I say, it's just about getting cleaned, eating some nice food, have a beer, and chill.
That's it.
Ready for the
in exact order. That's exactly what we want now.
Back up to Tangier from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You popped in a sat nav. What's the?
It's at about 11 and a half hours, so probably like 12, 13 hours.
Yeah.
We've got 3 days to do it.
Should be alright.
Yeah, so
possible.
Just hope everything's well with the Paggi, and yeah, we'll see. Should be good.
Well, even if the turbo's burning oil, I'd still do it.
Through the intake and into that.
Ooh.
It's easier than doing the propeller and everything because that has to be balanced.
But should I get, if I can find turbo seals, I can rebuild it myself. So
probably, yeah.
Morning.
Just have to deal with it.
It's like sandpaper. Okay, so we were using this snorkel sock as a pre-filter, an oiled one. So you just oil the surface. We just used a Ziploc bag and squish it all around. So now we're going to find out how well that's performed. I've just taken the air filter out, and it's literally clean as a whistle. You know how much dust we've been through.
This is impressive.
That is a win for the snorkel sock. You can get them like this this was actually sold for a 4-inch stainless snorkel, or you can get them for the plastic ones that go over the top of the sort of honeycomb as well. So yeah, I really rate that. It's amazing.
Jack's absolutely fascinated how clean it is.
I'm so impressed. Right. And that's not a new one, that's from when I changed it in January, the terrain tamer one.
Amazing.
I got a new spare Bosch as well to go in because I thought it would be dusted by the end of that, and don't need to change it.
That's impressive. How much did that cost?
Also, I don't know, it was about 15 quid or something. Comes with a little bit of oil, but I bought a whole tub of filter oil. So basically every day, well, whilst we're doing the trails, took that off. Well, as you know, Christina, because you washed it. Wash it with hot soapy water, let it dry overnight, re-oil it, put it back on. Yeah, a win.
Enjoying your breakfast?
That's the second campsite we've had fresh bread given to us in the morning.
Oh.
I'm using some of the local honey I got. Look at that.
Ooh, look at that. That looks good.
Delicious. Basically figured out what it is. It came down to a really crappy air filter essentially. One of those kind of enclosed cone filters. It was just letting tons of dust through. It was as dusty on the inside as it was the outside.
Yeah.
Which was pretty shocking, even with the cyclone thing they had on the top. So yes, just going to take it easy on it, but it seems to be running alright at the moment. Basically what's happened is just the sand and dust has got in and stuck to the turbo seals and basically acts like a grinding paste.
Right, okay.
And wears out the seals, so therefore they're letting a lot of oil through. The turbo itself is actually in really good condition. There's absolutely no play in the turbo, but those seals, yeah.
I remember, saw your hand in there.
They've pretty much had it probably, so we'll need a turbo rebuild once they get home. But hopefully the damage is not so severe that, you know, we lose all the oil or too much oil. Just going to keep checking it every so often, keep it topped up. It seems to be doing alright at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll have some work to do when they get home. I think we should already in the planning stages.
The joys with cars, isn't it, really? So there's always something. And
But speaking of air filters, like we have, obviously we've got the standard airbox on ours, which was completely clean as you saw, and I'm putting a lot of that down to that snorkel sock, the oiled snorkel sock.
you would have thought the sock.
Bloody brilliant. I think that I could, like, as soon as I took it out and hit the air filter, literally no dust. Like, so that's incredible. So I highly recommend a snorkel sock. At the beginning, I was a bit doubtful whether it would do much, but it really does. It's
Dust
amazing.
catches a lot. I mean, the first day I washed it out and it was a lot. Like,
I would say more than the cyclone things, which I thought would be the other way around, but
Yeah.
clearly not.
Here we are. Suddenly we have loads of goats wanting to cross. What is it, the speed?
That's 10 kph.
Currently
Full of rocks.
it's clear.
Oh, how far there?
Until the bend it's clear. Go. That's fine. Go.
Yeah, I'll try and wait for the turbo. And you're like, go, I'm going.
Alright. And that is presumably the Atlas.
Yep, certainly is.
The Google is looking squiggly wiggly.
Yeah.
Squiggly wiggly. There they are. Oh gosh.
Can you pass me a 14mm spanner?
What is it?
Developed a lot of lateral play in the diff, in the pinion where the prop shaft goes in.
Was that?
Getting a clonk each way.
Yeah, we heard that clonk. Is it fixable or?
Well, I mean, just take the prop off and perhaps it just needs tightening on the nut behind there, but who knows at this moment.
So that's pushing car now to align the bolt. For two.
Food, glorious food.
Not the sweet Tajino.
Like a sign of grace, I know, but I can never match your name or face. My fault, I didn't notice it was out of place. You painted fairy tales on the wall. Call into the better of the halves of me. Please show me just a little bit of honesty. I hope I got a heart that I can salvage, but it's getting harder now to recall.
So it's been a few days on the road, slowly cracking on with those miles and
It's
making.
a very day.
Yes, it's a very day. We are.
25 minutes out of the port, Tangimed.
Yeah.
See Spain in the distance, across the water, back to Europe.
I can't believe the time has flown by.
We've done so
Rather
much
quickly,
in such
yeah.
a short period of time. It's just it always goes like that, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And it's been a very eventful trip. We've just definitely Morocco. We are coming back without a doubt. And next time we're going to have more time on our hands as well.
The off-road opportunities, especially down those southern parts across the deserts and things. I'm sure there's loads more around the Atlas and the eastern side as well of the country. So we'll have to come back and explore more of that because you can just drive for days on these tracks and one experience. It looks so different to
It's
anything
like
we've done before. It's incredible.
I've got so many highlights, and one of them is definitely my favourite is just being for days on off-road tracks and also camping in the desert. Just so surreal.
Yeah, here we go, back. Well, we've still got a couple of months in Portugal, so we can't complain. Pajero It's got almost two. Let's not jinx it. Touch wood. It's got to the ferry. It is using a lot of oil, which we think is still the turbo seals. Plus that it's got a bit of a leak as well, but I think it's a combination of the leak and the turbo seals letting oil through and burning oil. It's using
about a litre a day, unfortunately,
yeah, it seems to be about a litre a day at the moment.
it's still going.
Just keep a check on it all the time. And that funny noise is still there, clonking from the rear prop. Some might get going into the diff or something like that. But so the thing with these Pajeros, they just seem to go on. They can get an issue or something, but they'll get you home normally.
Yeah,
so fingers crossed those
over
guys.
these years, Molly always has got us home.
They'll be alright all the way to the UK.
Yes.
I know you guys would like to know how we've got on with the Hilux, the Toyota Hilux. I mean, in all honesty, I've got to say it's probably the perfect vehicle for the job. These kind of trips. It's amazing. Like the MPG, I'm sure a lot of you want to know. I didn't think you'd be able to get over 30 MPG average on a trip like this from a fully loaded, overland vehicle, kitted out, bigger tyres and everything, lifted. And we've been averaging about 32, from fill up to fill up, about 32 miles per gallon.
We couldn't believe it. We always thought, like, surely the maps are wrong, surely, and we just keep checking.
So the older vehicles have been used to more like 19 to 22, so it's amazing to get over 30 MPG combined. The old 2KD Toyota with manual,
Truly.
which is a really good setup. And it just does everything you want it to
We
do.
haven't had any stress at all. Stress we would normally have
We always
in our previous projects.
In the older cars we'd have little stresses, things would need fixing all the time. Well, say all the time, but little things would happen, and you've got to deal with it. It adds an element of stress, whereas
Performance as
in
well.
this, you don't have to think about it, which is really nice. I've got to be honest. So it'd be hard to do it in any other way now. But
I think the performance of this vehicle is incredible as well. For example, going up the hill when you're in this pickly situation, when you're on a steep hill
Bags
and you need
of
to
power.
overtake, it's just bags of power. You have that, and I must say that Morocco generally has been overwhelmed for senses, particularly being on the road, and this vehicle just has given us so much confidence. I know for sure, as much as we love Molly, we know for sure that in Molly it would have been quite stressful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
we're thinking to make some big changes there potentially if we're going to use that one. Bigger trips in the future. Talking about engine conversions and things, but
he did say engine
also
conversion.
keeping it as simple as possible. But something would have to be done there for long-term travel. Mega impressed with how this vehicle has done.
Just done it really well.
Made it a pleasure.
Back to Spain.
That pretty much wraps up our expedition to Morocco. We know we'll be back at some point. There's just so much more to explore. Here is a combination of clips from all 4 episodes. We really hope you enjoyed this series. We'd love to hear from you guys, so say hello in the comments. What's next? Who knows? Any ideas? We'd love to hear them. Anyway, take it easy. See you next time.